to turn it into something. And that's really our idea behind Carbon Watch Company, creating education first. So letting people learn about the watches that we're selling. And that's really how we started. By one single watch I sold on Facebook Marketplace, a black Submariner date. I'll never forget it. We don't really do too much consignment, and the reason is someone's always getting the short end of the stick on consignment, whether it's the customer or the consignee or the business, right? So like the business is making the money in between, but the consignee is either wants too much money, so then the person purchasing is paying too much for the good. So I mean, I think they're just having assets is always good, whether you're in some foreign country that you need a link out of your Cuban link chain, or you need to sell a watch. I had a customer who was in another country, all their bank accounts got like paused or something because they thought it was fraud. They couldn't get on the phone, they were trying to check their family in. They went to the nearest store and literally sold the gold chain.
Everybody stop talking now, attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time on a beat Sunday. Listen, I told you today, I'm still the greatest of all time.
GOATED Podcast, welcome back. I got a special guest today. I got Brent Miller, the GOAT of watches, in the building. We met a couple weeks ago, and we hit it off right away. Got two peas in a pod. We got two phones. They don't stop ringing. We're trying to hustle and grind for our families and for just freedom and success. So I got to walk into his place. If you haven't seen his Instagram, we'll talk more about their business, the business he's built. It's incredible. And they're in Southwest Florida, about 2 minutes from the GOATED HQ. And when we have visitors come, I've already told my team, when we have entertainment, weekends and people that come that are influencers, one of the stops is going to be the Carbon Watch Co.
Look forward to it.
Pumped for that. But it's going to be a great episode. Excited to learn from you. Excited to hear about the business. And thank you for joining.
No, thank you for having me. Can't wait.
I'm pumped. So I walked in the building. I walked in your Bonita location over here.
A little hard to find.
Yeah, so it's sick because you walk in the bottom floor and you got the sign that got a cool message or something that there's a heat warning or heat advisory.
That's right. We
today.
change it every month.
Do you? I love it. And when you walk in, well, you can't walk in. You got to ring the doorbell. It's a secured place because you got millions of dollars of jewelry and goods in there.
That's right.
A lot of great stuff. And when you walk in, it's awesome. The experience, the staff, the collection, obviously is the big thing.
Appreciate that.
And what you've built, just the class and the volume there. So tell me about. I didn't really ask when we were there. There were customers around. You got people in, but in this location, I was blown away. I told my wife, I'm like, there had to be looked like $100 million sitting there in jewelry, right?
Hopefully someday.
Yeah. A ton of cool watches, ton of cool bags and jewelry, and you've grown the business from 100%. Watches. So tell me about the Bonita location. You were one of the first people in that building.
Yeah. So I mean, first of all, Carbon Watch Company is with heat and pressure makes a diamond with carbon. So carbon with heat and pressure makes a diamond, and I feel like that's part of being a GOAT, right? With heat and pressure, to turn it into something. And that's really our idea behind Carbon Watch Company, creating education first. So letting people learn about the watches that we're selling. And that's really how we started. By one single watch I sold on Facebook Marketplace, a black Submariner date. I'll never forget it. And, turned it into a huge selection of over 450 timepieces, a huge selection of natural and lab jewelry, and then Hermes, Birkins, and Kellys. And so we started with lower level purses, got our feet wet with that, and just our whole business model is get the customer in the door, educate them on maybe a lower level good, whether it's an Omega or Hublot or a Tag. And not to say that's a bad watch, because they're great timepieces, but it gets them in the door. And we try to sell watches that hold value, that they can trade back in and start their watch journey that way. So cool. So that's how we've started with the watches, and then with the bags the same way. You start with your Louis Vuittons, your Dior's, your Gucci's, and then trade up into the Hermes.
Hermes.
That's right.
That so tell me about the first watch. I didn't know that. So Facebook, you have a watch. Is it yours?
It was my watch. I was always an entrepreneur, so I bought and sold cell phones when I was in high school. Nice. And then I sold pest control and worked for a medical software company and was always doing multiple things at once. And then we ended up having phone stores in Texas and when I was in high school. And then getting into I got onto Amazon. So we created flags, not even drop shipping. It was crazy. So we created a flag that wasn't proprietary. We had the lawyer look at it, make sure we weren't infringing on anyone. And we ended up selling them right on Amazon, and the company did all the marketing for us basically, and we're the first seller on Amazon. Nice. And I bought a Rolex Submariner and I wore it for a bit and sold it on Facebook Marketplace, made $1,500, then bought a two-tone version. I just loved watches. Even when I was a kid, I wanted that fake Rolex Submariner, and the main reason was because of my father. The first big corporate job he got, my mom got him a Rolex Submariner, black with a date, stainless steel. And that was like, when I was growing up, that was like, you made it, you have a Rolex. That's cool. So that was the vision behind the Rolex, and now I get to be around them every single day.
Amazing. Yeah, now you got a
bunch of them to choose from.
I was shocked too when I asked you if they were on consignment. I'm like, there's so many sick watches here, but the company owns all of them.
Yeah, we don't really do too much consignment, and the reason is someone's always getting the short end of the stick on consignment, whether it's the customer or the consignee, or the business, right? So like the business is making the money in between, but the consignee is either wants too much money, so then the person purchasing is paying too much for the good, or the consignee is getting too little for the good, and the purchaser's making out better. Or as a business owner, I'm getting 1,800 phone calls a day already, and then I'm getting another 2,000 asking if my watch or bag has sold. And so I think if it's a good enough deal to buy as a company that we can add our 5 to 10% profit on top, then it's a fair deal for everyone. And it's a lot easier process.
Awesome. The short time I spent in the shop a couple of times, the customers had clearly been there before. Yeah. They were ecstatic to be there.
Definitely.
And came in like a family. It was awesome. It was a good lesson for me because we have people that stop by our HQ and our buildings too. And it's similar, but you always want to see that in another company too.
Well, and I'm sure you got your guys or girls that come in and you're like a coffee stop for them. They always want to see like what's new, what's good. Like even if they don't purchase, if you're in Southwest Florida and you're not even looking to purchase a watch, you should just come by, check out the selection, and you probably learn something about what someone's doing in there, a trade, or why they're buying a certain piece, and it might relate to your own story.
I love the education piece, so I didn't know that. And on Instagram, you have an education group, right?
Yeah, so we have a channel. It's more for sales, but a lot of people use it for education. And it's the easiest way to keep our followers and clients up to date with new inventory. Keeping a website up to date is difficult in the sense of it could sell in 5 different places, and then it might not always update as fast as the customer wants to purchase it. So the Instagram channel and WhatsApp group has been a great platform for us to post in real time all of our new arrivals, so people will be waiting for that ding on their cell phone. And they can also learn the market without having to ask a dealer a million questions. They can see the price, the year, what it comes with, if it comes with box and papers, or it doesn't come with papers, or it doesn't come with a box. They can start getting educated on that pricing for each piece, and then it turns so that they're a more educated buyer when they're ready to make that big purchase.
Smart. Yeah, because we've got, in that industry, and we're somewhat similar, we're creating timepieces as well in the golf space. But the education's key because a lot of times we're posting and showing what we have, and a lot of businesses can probably relate. Messaging is important, and obviously investment in the piece or the product that you're selling. So that was a good lesson for me. If you're not following, we'll put the handle. It's Carbon Watch Company. Carbon Watch Company. Yep. Ton of followers. You built a great following on social media, TikTok and Instagram. And I'm pumped to hear about how that strategy was. People watching that. Obviously, everyone. You go to high school down the street, half the kids will say they want to be influencers. So I always try to touch into the influencer skill sets and what you learn. But building the social media, what was your strategy there, and what worked, what didn't?
For sure. I think what worked is not being an influencer necessarily. Like, I think so many people just try to go for the clicks and the views, and I truly believe that maybe we could have 100,000 followers if we did more of clickbait, more drama, more
trendy,
bad things that are going on, and or good things, but negativity on social media usually is what gets views. And we were just talking to our marketing team, and they were like, Brent, you either got to be more negative, you got to talk about more negative reviews and negative stories. You see that all the time with like the car business.
Yes.
Oh, this person was mad.
bad
What
comments.
happened? Yeah. And so we actually took a different approach and tried to be more educational about the timepieces that we're selling, talk about the cool features, the why this could be a great value, what makes this watch so special, what makes it priced the way that it is. And then through that, I think we got a lot of great quality followers. And so sometimes as a brand, in my opinion, it's better to have quality followers than quantity of followers.
Sure.
And that's why if you look at our ratio between followers and group members, we have about 4,000 people that join the channel on Instagram, and we have about 3,000 on WhatsApp. So 7,000 members between only 25,000 followers is a pretty good ratio. That means a lot of people that follow want to see those deals. They want to see that watch for sale or that bag for sale at the best possible price, and they want the exclusive access to see it first. And so I think we've done a good job of capturing that quality follower, and I think so many people just go for likes, clicks, views when they should be going to create that connection, and that's what we really try to do.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect the bottom line most of the time, especially until your views and clicks are the number keeps getting higher. I would imagine for influencers.
For sure.
You have 10 million to
100%.
to get a deal with a brand. And it has to be real engagement, and we're always evaluating engagement as business owners. When people want to do a giveaway with us, I'm sure you have the same
100%.
thing. You got to go, well, what's your engagement, what's your clientele, and how loyal and sticky are they? And
it's funny too, because for us, I feel like so many people try to get that free watch or that free chain or that free apparel, and I don't think that's necessarily what's important. Usually the realest, biggest engagement we've had off of a collaboration has something that's been mutual beneficial. Like we had a recent instance where we sold the watch a little bit under cost. They were still willing to buy the watch. They wanted to give it away on their platform.
Yeah.
So we lost a little bit of money on the watch, but we ended up selling 6 or 7 watches from the collaboration, and he got a super cool piece to use in his content. So he actually shot it with a bow through the middle of the bracelet.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that I think creates real engagement, and I feel like people always go after the sexy looking collaborations where sometimes the hunter is looking for that timepiece and no one's been marketing to that guy.
True.
So I thought it was an awesome collaboration that we had.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Have you done any meta ads and advertising?
Yeah, so we actually were banned on Meta for a long time. We actually had to restart our whole Instagram account because we were completely removed from being able to market on Meta. And that was all because of copyright infringement, us selling Rolexes and not being Rolex. But it's no different than an exotic car dealership posting a Lamborghini, but they're not Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So we dealt with that issue a lot as we were growing, and now they've gotten a little bit better through like Meta Verified, but we've been posting every single day on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts for almost 4 years now. So there will always be one video every single day. We used to edit every single day as well, like all in-house. We didn't have any extra help. Now we have a company who really truly helps us with we still produce all of our own content, we film it all, but they help us edit and post, and that's taken a lot off of our plate, I'm sure. How do you guys...
We do the same thing. We have a third party that does our social media management. Editing, the third party does it as well, but a lot of it's us filming, brainstorming, and then really just schedule planning, but that third party, the business does.
What's been the biggest change or improvement that you've done on social media that has helped you guys grow?
So we pivoted from trendy content, which is funny. About a year ago, I was chasing, and I wanted more followers. I wanted our Instagram to have as many as Malvin right away, or as Nike. That's not happening. And to do that, I know to get followers, and just like you covered, is trendy content, and you got to post the negative and the positive and the drama and whatever else, and you have to trick people to watch your whole video. That's something
100%.
people are starting to coach, and I'm like, man, you're putting a something up front, or you're putting these silly videos where nothing actually happens in the video, but you have to watch. You've seen those videos
Yep.
where it's just a trick, and at the end of it, it's not good for your business, but you'll get a lot more likes, followers maybe on the tricks. But we pivoted from that. We're going straight brand identity. If it's not high quality, we're not posting it, and we post a lot less. Now today I had a meeting and I was like, we're not posting enough. I'm
Yep.
hammering our social media team. I'm like, we got to post more, but don't post this, and this. Make sure it's on brand quality. So
Well, I think it's funny too because I used to like really want my videos, every single one, to be perfect. If I messed up, I wanted it to be redone. I just, and then I got to the point where I want it to be real. I don't want it to be me dancing and
Yeah.
you know scripted. Every single one of our videos at most is 2 takes.
Nice.
If it's more than 2 takes, I want to do a different video and I'll come back to it another time. Just because I feel like we've gotten a lot of true clients and great, like almost a family now of people that like that transparency. And if you're willing to be fake on camera or not put your face on camera, like that was a big thing for us. A lot of watch companies, it's all watch rolls or wrist rolls or just the focusing on the watch. And it's not focusing on the person behind the camera and why aren't they shown on camera? Like, are they doing something? We try to be fully transparent. Here's what I paid. Here's what I'm selling it for. We're a business. We both have to make some money, but I also want to provide that level of service to the customer too. And we even had a bad experience last week where the client's message just got totally missed, you know, and I think that, you know, that's hurts me more than it probably hurt that customer, you know, because you feel like you let, you know, that customer down, but you let yourself down because, you know, you're already working 24/7 and, you know, you're trying to figure out where there's extra hours in the day. And I feel like some of it's, you got to get other people to help, you know, and
delegate and
that's my biggest goal for 2026 is really try to build the team, build the delegation, and help service our clientele better.
Yeah, that's been a grind for us 3 years into. I'm a good delegator and might be a lazy. When we grew up, my dad and brothers would make fun of like the laziness thing, but now we're watching Duck Dynasty and he's got all his brothers working for him too, like I do. But I'm delegating because I see the big picture. I see those. And sometimes I can delegate too much and we overhire and we have to figure out what roles we're going to do. But capacity as an entrepreneur is such a challenge always. I mean, there's never enough time in the day. There's never enough days in the week. And especially as you have kids. How old are you?
27.
27, bro. Amazing. Congrats. What you've built. When you have kids and it's even harder because then you're like, oh, my daughter's 5 and I'm like, I feel like we just brought her home from the hospital. I'm like, I got to hire someone so I can spend more time with the kids.
Right.
And duplicate myself. So it's a grind. It's a fun grind. It's a blessing. We're in the best country in the world to be able to have that freedom and that ability. But I love it. I think I was going to ask one more thing too. So you have a couple locations
so one main location in
here.
Bonita in Southwest Florida, and then we try to do more so partnerships with other stores or locations to where we provide some of the merchandise or we provide some of the expertise and the help behind the scenes, and it ends up working well for both of us. So
and you ship all over.
We ship all over the nation mostly, but we do export some goods. Mainly we buy from overseas and then sell in the U.S. For the most part.
Nice. I'm excited for the channel. So if you're watching, if you don't go follow the Instagram, just to learn, this is one thing I want to touch on because I just feel challenged. Is I'll ask you this first.
Okay.
If you think what you've built, there was any chance if you didn't go educate yourself, if you know nothing about watches, is there enough in the game that you could have just not winged it, but you didn't obsess on watches and obsess consistently?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance you build what you built just smoke and mirrors?
There's 0% chance.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys out there now that are teaching how to buy and sell watches,
I've seen it,
and I think people focus on too much of the dollar amount that they're making in between, and they're not focusing on learning the watch market. They're still having to ask me, like, there's guys that have been in the business forever and they still, what should I pay for this? It's like, well, you have all these groups, WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, you have all these different resources for you to educate yourself on and people always come in and ask me, oh, like, you didn't even look at your phone to price my watch? It's like, no, I didn't need to. I've bought 10 of those this week, and I know what I can buy them for, what I can sell them for. And some people are like, hey, I think you paid too much for that watch. Well, where are you going to find it less, first of all? Where are you going to find it in this condition? Where are you going to find it with the box and papers at this set? You didn't have to ship it. You didn't have to worry about it getting lost in the mail. You didn't have to worry about anything. It's standing here in front of me, and now I have a customer for life that's going to come to me, and when he has pieces that he wants to get rid of or trade in to upgrade, he's going to come back because he remembers that experience.
Yeah, that you paid
So I think that's a major key. And then also, when I started buying and selling watches, I was looking at the note on my phone. I made like $150 on some watch or $40 on another watch, and it was all just to grow that contact list. So now when I need a watch, that guy remembers me from 5 years ago. It was easy, simple, clean business. I sent him an invoice. He paid me. I sent it first without, a big headache, or he sends me a watch. He gets paid on time. So, I mean, I think trust and building just knowledge and reputation in this. Reputation's everything. That's the biggest thing I think I will say. If you're rude to a watch dealer, even just from a B2B perspective, they won't want to work with you again. They could you might need their watch 3 years or 10 years from now because you have a client that wants to pay for it, and he won't sell it to you because he remembers that bad situation or bad taste in his mouth from before.
In the industry, there still is some, you've got a client looking for a watch and you can go get it broker. There is some brokering still?
Well, so no one's rich enough to have every watch in inventory.
Yeah.
There's, even with 450 watches, there's guys that have 2,000 watches in stock, or there's guys that have 10,000 watches in stock. And there's always a customer that wants a specific dial, a specific year. There's even customers out there are looking for a specific date that's written on the warranty card.
Wow.
For their kid's birthday or to commemorate a big achievement in their life. When a customer sold a business, they wanted the date that they signed the check on that warranty card so that they could put it in their office. That's cool. So next level of a GOAT mentality. They want that that item that they can put on their wall as a trophy. That's cool. And we do a lot of that, custom engraving on the back of the case back, to really just hand down for generations. And so but we source every single day. We have to. We don't have every single watch, and that customer could be seen something on Instagram or a magazine or on another wrist is my favorite one. They'll be zooming in on someone's wrist, and I'll have to first figure out what watch it is and then go out and get it. So that it's been fun. Just learning about all the different watches that are out there, and then all the people you get to meet on a daily basis. I'm sure that you would have never thought you talk to the people that you do on a daily basis.
No. Yeah, exactly. That are both of our businesses, the clientele that it brings and the family that it brings. It's a blessing. The Rolex brand, I saw I think Guerrilla Marketing or somebody, his name, he went undercover and went into Rolex and tried to buy a Rolex. I've seen those videos. I watched the whole series. Because it's still, like, they really make you levels. They make you go through levels to even be able to buy a watch.
100%. It's almost impossible to walk into a boutique and buy an item that trades for over MSRP. Okay. And so by Rolex stores, Audemars stores, Patek dealers, they have to sell at MSRP. There's no more discounting of the timepiece. So if you're a brand store and the MSRP on Rolex.com for a Submariner is $10,350, that's the price they have to sell it for. But the store now knows that watch trades for $15,000 on the secondary market, so they can leverage the other jewelry, other timepieces that they're having trouble selling on that. So hey, if you buy this diamond ring, then we'll put you on the list to get the next this. And so it's all a relationship game, just such is life, but it also has held the secondary market so strong. And that's really what you want. You want to buy the pieces that are trading over MSRP because that means there's a higher demand than there is a supply. Very simple finance 101. And I think people get aggravated not because they can't go buy it, but because of the lack of the relationship that's really created at some of those stores. You're another number. You don't get that real feel experience, and you can't just buy, sell, and trade on a random Tuesday. You have to wait a certain amount of years before sometimes you can sell a watch, or you have to do it secretly. You can't just go into them, hey, I'm buying a house, like I need to sell my watch. They'll still blacklist you. I had a buddy who he needed an extra $20,000 for a down payment on his house. He posted the watch for sale because the store wouldn't buy it back, and they saw that he was selling his watch and they blacklisted him. He can't buy from them anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, so
they'll have watches in the store that they won't sell.
They will not sell because of they're exhibition only, but it's great for our business, but it's also great for the customer, and they don't think about it like that until you frame it up it protects their investment.
Yeah, it's amazing that business we were trying to learn at the beginning, because I was like preaching to my team, we're the Rolex of golf.
Yep. You
have to qualify. You got to be a part of the GOAT Club.
Sure.
You got to be a part of this, to buy this, to win this putter, to have this putter,
100%.
gifted to you. We have some of that in place, and we're working on. We were just talking outside the podcast on some things that are going to be cool for our people too.
Yep.
In actual real gold and real silver, because we have a golden putter, but it's plated, gold plated. But I'm fired up for that. So GOATED mentality I like to talk about a lot. So what are some things? You're 27.
99, baby.
99. What are some things to first of all, if you don't mind answering, you don't have to. What's the business worth now, or what inventory do you have in value now, just so that people can? Yeah,
so I mean, we started about 6 years ago, about full time 6 years ago. We have over $10 million in stock currently, and I would have never thought that would have been the case. But it's been a pretty cool ride because it's all built off of volume. It's making low margin on hundreds of watches a month, and that's what creates our volume.
It's crazy. And what's the most expensive piece you have?
Currently, our most expensive piece is somewhere in the mid 300s for a single watch. But a couple weeks ago, we did have $1 million Richard Mille in the store, so that was pretty special.
Had a buyer. So you post it when you get it. The goal is not to hold some of these.
We're not a museum.
Yeah.
I'm not a Rolex museum or an Audemars museum. I'm in the business to buy, sell, and trade them, and and put someone who fits into that piece and put that piece on their wrist.
Yeah.
Because not every watch is for every customer. And some people try to just buy the hype, but they're not buying the watch they love. And so when the market changes, good or bad, I never want someone to buy a watch that they're just buying straight off a hype because they think it's a good investment. And then if it doesn't turn out that way, then they have a watch they don't love.
Yeah.
Because realistically, with the internet now, you can't make 20% on someone on a Batman. You can Google online what a Batman, or Chat GPT, what is a Batman worth, and it'll come up with a rough estimate. Now, if it has box and papers, if it's new reference or old reference, if it's in beat up condition or perfect, there's a lot of other details and other variables with that. But yeah, it's a lot to go along with it, but it's also just all relationships, and once you treat someone right, they don't mind paying you that extra 2 points because they know when they're ready to sell it, you'll give them the extra 2 points.
Exactly. That's huge. So my follow-up on that is 6 years, so you were 21, a lot of GOATED mentality inside you, right? Have to be to build what you built. What were some things you passed on, some things you cut out of your life, some things you added to your life, and who you put yourself around, or decisions, choices you made to try to get to a level you're at?
Yeah, so I think first of all, take my dad's advice is 4 quarters are better than 100 pennies. So I think that's probably the most valuable advice that I've probably gotten, in the sense of when you surround yourself with a lot of people, even though sometimes I feel like you feel lonely, because you're working towards a goal, you're working provide for your family or make your parents proud or whatever drives you on a day-to-day basis, you got to find out first what drives you. But secondly, I think surround yourself with the people that want to see you succeed and aren't hating on, your downfall.
Praying for it, yeah.
And I feel like if you can get that good support system, people that understand what you're trying to create, and not everyone has to have the same goal in that circle. They don't all have to have a monetary goal or a family goal or wake up and want to go for a 10-mile run.
Yeah.
But I feel like as a collective group, you need people around you that just want to achieve a goal and also want to help those other people around you to complete their goal, not to complete their own goal, but to help others, achieve theirs. And so I think that's been the biggest, factor in the growth of Carbon Watch Company.
Motivated people around you.
100%.
Same speed that you're going. I've seen that too. I want to have people, whether they're of their own business or I have no idea what their business is, I want to be around people that are going at the same speed, or have the same motivational, same compass, same.
And I feel like when you open up what you're actually feeling, that's also, I would say, number 2.
Okay.
I used to be very closed off about either things I'm going through or keep everything inside. I think my girlfriend Katie, who works the same hours I do, she's a grinder, kind of also pushes me to take a step back sometimes and relax, get off my phone for 20 minutes and have dinner or whatever that escape is, and taking that time for yourself, but also cutting out, if you're not in a position that you want to be in, cut out the things that aren't helping you get there.
Yeah.
And for some people it might be drinking, for some people gambling, for some people, they're spending too much time at the gym.
Yeah.
So there's a million different activities that people are doing that aren't helping them get their goals. And I feel like having a great partner to help you achieve those goals is super important.
Crucial.
Too.
Yeah. No, I love it. All goated mentality, great things there. I mean, Bible says if someone's causing you to stumble, cut it out. It even says your eye. If your eyes are causing you to stumble, cut your eyes out. And there's obviously a bunch of theologians on that. God doesn't mean that, but it's so true in entrepreneurship and in leadership. It's like, if this is causing us to not be the best we can be or not hit our goals, set goals.
Right.
I was going to ask before I go into GOATs, because you played baseball too, but what kind of goal setting? I love the Friday. I was in there on a Friday and you're like, guys, we're going to hit the Friday goal. So tell me about goals you set for the team and for yourself.
So every day starts at 0. Every week starts at 0, and then every month starts at 0. And so I feel like categorizing my life into, just taking it one day at a time has really taken a lot of stress off my plate, and it resets me. Instead of, some people try to set a goal of a year or even a month, I feel like is a long time.
Yeah.
There's something that you can be doing every day to hit a bigger goal. And so now on Fridays, we try to hit a revenue goal. And I said that for the team and myself to really get on the phone with people I haven't talked to in a while in the business or retail customers. Pick up the phone, send them a text message, remind them about their mom's birthday that's coming up, or reach out to a wholesaler that used to buy a lot of pieces from you, or just post something that you've seen in the case too long. Even if we don't make money on it, I don't care if we break even on the watch or even lose a little bit, but let's get that money back in motion. And a ball in motion stays in motion. So I think if we can have a goal, and when it starts getting down to the wire, then the best deals start coming out. We start, we try to be super aggressive on Friday deals.
Nice. And
I also feel like it adds a fun factor. I feel like so many people go into work, they do the same task. They get bored with doing that same objective day in and day out. And so if you can change up that daily process and throw a curveball at someone, you also can see how someone will react, good or bad, and figure out maybe they had a skill set that you didn't even know they had.
Yeah, that opens up creative thinking too. It opens up more relationships, people checking in. We realize in our business, just checking in on people. I've hired a person to actually just call our top spenders every week. And top customers, even people that watch our shows, we live sell, just checking in on them, and they're so appreciative. They obviously spend more after because they feel the love, but that's not the goal. It's literally to practice what we preach, that we're a family, and so I love it. So you play baseball, FGCU, right?
FGCU. The
Dunk City, like a lot of Dunk City references. If you're not from this area, you gotta Google the Dunk City run. FGCU Eagles is right here in town.
Yep.
Heck of a baseball draft day they just had a couple days ago, I think. Lost some players to NIL. We had the golf coach in the office today.
Oh,
the new golf
nice.
coach. They're ordering some stuff with us. We're doing some NIL stuff with them. So you play baseball there?
Yep. Cut a little short, COVID, and me wanting to focus on the business, and that was a hard time for me too, because I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you feel like you make a decision, and it's a decision that you have to live with for the rest of your life. And I had a lot of opportunities also, like if I wanted to go somewhere else, I could too, and that's the cool part about life, is that if something doesn't go your way in one aspect, you can also pivot and find something that does work in your situation. And I wouldn't change anything for the world to go into college having to wake up at 5, go work out at 5:30, to go to class at 7, to take lunch at 11, to be on the field by 1, and then have 10 hours of study hall a week. It was a great way to set a plan, achieve the plan, set a goal, achieve the goal, and just really set that work ethic in you from
learn time management routine.
Oh, you really had to.
I love it. Who's your baseball GOAT?
I'd say Jeter. And the reason is you never see anything, like, honestly, negative or positive off the field. You just he's there. He's a great dude. He's a GOAT on the field. He takes care of business and handles everything like respectfully, and I think that's what we try to do at just with my own brand as Brent Miller. You want people to, when you see people out, you want to say what's up and not have any bad blood out there. And I feel like he's done a great job of that off the field, and then on the field, complete grinder.
True.
Sets processes whenever he goes out to the field. He touches that sign and he's ready to play.
I like it. I haven't heard that answer, which is awesome. And he's a big golfer now. He's golfing. He came to the PGA show 2 years in a row. Stopped by our booth. We had a Jeter towel and gave him a Jeter towel.
There you go.
GOAT. Definitely a GOAT. You're not from New York, right?
No, I'm not.
You're in West Coast more.
From Dallas,
Dallas
originally. My whole family is from Buffalo.
Okay.
Yankees fan, but my parents, my dad and mom moved from Buffalo right after school.
Okay.
He knew that he wanted to get out of Buffalo, out of the snow, create a new opportunity for his family, and I think that took a lot of courage, because his whole family lives there.
Yeah.
He didn't know anyone else.
Make a jump.
Was the first person to go to school, get a degree, and go take a corporate job somewhere else. And then in turn moved our family around a lot. I lived, I think, 7 or 8 different places before going to college. So that was, I think, what also created a lot of my personality in sales.
Shaped you who you were.
100%. And every time you'd move, you had to make new friends, talk to the new teachers, create new relationships, play on a different baseball team or football team. And I think it shaped a lot of who I am today.
It's huge. Yeah, I'm the same. I like hearing that. Usually, I don't invite anyone on this podcast that I don't think is a GOAT in some way or is someone to look up to. And it's so good in those moments. You learn a lot, but it's so good to hear that you don't have any regrets, right? Because most of the people I invite on have the same thing. They're like, what I went through, even though this was terrible. I've had people that went on through cancer, went on through losing a loved one. God has a plan, and you've been shaped from those circumstances and the things you went through. It's awesome.
100%. I moved my senior year of high school to McKinney, Texas. My dad was finishing up his job, so I lived in a hotel for a little bit. I was going to baseball practice. I found a job to sell pest control on Craigslist. Ended up finding other guys that wanted to sell the pest control with me, and then gave them a lower cut, so that I had a bunch of sales guys out there on knocking doors and talking to
Awesome.
new people. Every single door you knocked, you didn't know if the guy was going to get mad or the wife was going to be happy you're there or not. So, it's all those little situations that you get to talk about now on something like this, something as cool as this, but you don't really think about those instances on a day-to-day basis because you're too wrapped up in the process. But when you truly get to sit down and talk about what shaped you, I think there's so many things that we can look back on and be thankful for.
For sure. Yeah, and wonder how we got through a situation at work now. It's like, oh, I did this. I was knocking doors. I'm used to someone coming in cold or
100%.
me coming in cold. I love it. Let's close with this. How can people, what would you encourage a collector? You were telling me before we started, which was awesome, the benefits I never thought of jewelry, of having jewelry.
Right.
I didn't even know that you couldn't travel across borders with a certain amount of cash, but you can wear certain things you have. So there's some benefits to like owning jewelry, and I know people are changing cash for gold right now.
I think they're just having assets is always good. Whether you're in some foreign country that you need a link out of your Cuban link chain, or you need to sell a watch because your Amex isn't where. I had a customer who was in another country. All their bank accounts got like paused or something because they thought it was fraud. They couldn't get on the phone. They were trying to check their family in. They went to the nearest store and literally sold the gold chain to go pay for their hotel room so that they could get the family in air conditioning. And like, it's just crazy. So you can actually buy these goods and have these assets and be able to take them other places or wear them, enjoy them, but also have it as an asset for a tough time, or if you're trying to buy a home, so you have these assets that are harder to spend or gamble or go party with a watch when you have to take it to a store to sell it. It gives you that extra 24 hours or 12 hours to think about your decision before you just go cash out that Rolex and go spend it on something that maybe isn't necessary.
Yeah.
So I think it gives you that extra step, and there's so many timepieces out there that I hate selling them as investments, but there's truly watches out there that can be a great asset in your portfolio that could possibly go up in value and be a great something you can enjoy while you're looking. It's hard to enjoy a stock.
Yeah, true.
You only can look at your E-Trade account so many times before your battery's dead on your phone. And so I think you being able to wear that and I think a timepiece for someone says a lot about who they are as a person.
Yeah.
When you have that watch on,
business and
definitely.
Yeah. Do you do any crypto?
No, that's not my
Interesting.
it has never been my.
You'd rather hold it.
I'd rather touch it, feel it, smell it, enjoy it, and I think, and also like, you can't bring your house to a business meeting. You can't bring, even though like material items aren't always like the best judge of character or says who you are, but let's be real here. I think, items do matter. When you pull up to a appointment in a certain type of vehicle, whether it's expensive or not, is if it's clean, I think that tells a lot about a person if they go get their car washed.
Yeah.
So, I think, but you can always wear your timepiece to any occasion. You can wear it to a business meeting, you can wear it to a dinner, you can wear it out, you can wear it to a sporting event, or you could wear it running. I think it tells a lot about the person of what piece you choose.
Love it. The last question I'd have is where in the same subject, where do you think someone should start? I love in your shop across the street. Probably the Instagram, all the education I'm looking forward to just to know the industry. But someone that likes jewelry, or that doesn't like jewelry, where do they start? And what is there? In my mind, I'm thinking a trade up or a levels. There's levels to this game,
100%.
obviously. But where do you suggest someone starts with a watch?
So
Depends
my favorite, it depends on your budget, but
Yeah.
my favorite part to start is a simple Rolex Black Submariner. I go back to that first watch that I ever bought. That is the best watch you can wear in the sense of you can go hiking, swimming, boating with it, or you could wear it to a business meeting, or you can wear it out to dinner. And I think that's a great starting point for a lot of people because you can see what size you like. And before anyone spends $50,000 on a watch, they should buy a $8,000 to $20,000 timepiece and see if they even like wearing them. See if they like the brand, if they like the attention it brings. If they don't like the attention it brings. And so many people are transitioning from a brand like Rolex to brands like Audemars or Patek, where no one in the world knows you're wearing that type of wealth on your wrist, but those who do, and that circle that does know those brands, really can appreciate it, and starts that conversation with a bunch of goats around you.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like an upgraded Jeep wave. You see that?
That's right.
You see the
That's right. You give the rolly wave.
I like it. Last thing, not to question, but where can people find you? We talked about that.
That's
and
right.
The group.
Yeah. So on Instagram, Carbon Watch Company. We also have a website, carbonwatchcompany.com, where it's more of a catalog. So if you're new to the Rolex or watch market in general, go to the carbonwatchcompany.com. It will have a catalog of every single watch that's been produced from Rolex, AP, Patek, Richard Mille. Right. It gives you a catalog to be able to look through, see what colors you like, see what the different sizes, the different styles, and it gives you like a great point to start. And then from there you can join the Instagram channel, which the link is in the bio, or on WhatsApp. We also have a group if you don't have Instagram, because that's where we actually post real inventory, stuff that's available in our shop, ready to try on. And I think that's the other main thing about buying from a location versus an online just .com Chrono 24 is that so many customers come in looking for something and leave with a different piece. So that's the big thing at Carbon Watch Company. I want to find you your perfect piece.
It's awesome. Make sure you're following. Check out the site. I'm excited for that. I didn't know that. And if this one thing I'm taking away from this is, if you're going to obsess and educate yourself on something, and if you have a passion for something, there's no better place. I love our country. There's no better place in the world. If you want to obsess on something, your website, your internet's not blocked here. You can go find whatever you want, learn about whatever you want on YouTube, learn whatever you want, and just put in a little more effort, and you've got the world at your fingertips if you want to. And get around people that know the game. We were talking before the podcast, and he had to make a couple calls, some other experts, and I had to make calls on some of my things, and we're calling people we trust, and we're put people around us that are taking care of the shop, and that we trust of the shop, and then experts around us that we want to treat people right and build that network is really your worth. Your network's your net worth.
That's right.
So treat people right, love God, love people, what we stand for, put God over all things. And then I would say, caveat, might be bad for the business, but if there's jewelry that's bringing you more joy and not having it's causing any envy, don't make these things your God. We want to put God over all things. You got to get to a place where it doesn't, where the putters you buy, the polos you buy, and retail therapy, God's made us all with a God-shaped hole. Retail's not going to fill it. My putters aren't going to fill it. I think Brent would tell you his watches aren't going to fill a hole in your heart. It'll make you feel better for a little bit. All of our stuff we sell, but God's got a purpose for you. Talk to people, even in this moment. Share what you're going through. You said being transparent. I had to learn that too. Don't keep things in, and you'll learn. And if you put in good people around you and you're being transparent, you're going to get feedback from people that care about you and go, hey, you got to stop doing this, or you got to clean this up, or you got to try this. So be transparent, love God, love people, put good people around you, and hustle and grind.
That's right.
Pumped for you. A heck of an accomplishment in the last 6 years. Amazing. And I'm excited we got to know each other, and the GOATED family gets to know you, and hopefully shoot you a follow, and you'll see
I
the
appreciate you
growth of
having
the
me.
business.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you, bro. Stay GOATED, everybody. See you next time.
Everybody stop talking now. Attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time. When I beat Sonny Liston, I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time.